Before it's time to spin, you've got to first cue it up.
I'm probably in your area too. Everybody who owns a laptop, they're a DJ. Everybody who owns a DSL camera, they're a photographer.
And
Yes.
what I'll do is put up blurbs so therefore you can see what I'm thinking about and why I chose that song. You can see the reaction of the kids. So you
Yes.
can kind of like get an idea of how to use it and what to expect.
Why do you want to charge for something that you have the knowledge of and these other DJs don't have the knowledge of? Share your knowledge, you know?
Right.
But it's DJing's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it is a lot of fun too, you know? I'm DJ Mikey Mike. I cover central, northeastern Pennsylvania, southeastern Pennsylvania, parts of New Jersey, parts of New York State.
And I'm Dwayne Dixon, the Hitman DDub from Cleveland, Ohio. And it's time to cue it up. Okay, what's up everyone, and welcome to another episode of the CUEITUP DJ podcast with me, the Hitman DDub, and Tom from Wedding Wire and the Knot. Tonight, DJ Mikey Mike couldn't be with us. He had a procedure done yesterday, so he's at home recouping. I'm glad to hear that everything went well. So hopefully he'll be with us next week. But our podcast is a podcast for DJs of all skill levels to connect, learn, and grow. From pro tips to real talk, we're here to support and celebrate the DJ community. So last week, we had talked about busy work versus business work. And the main takeaways was run your business and don't let your business run you. Focus on business work for actual growth, not just being busy. Define operational strategies. So ask yourself, is this something that I need to really do? If it's something that you really need to do, then go ahead and do it. If it's something that you really don't have to do and you can outsource it to a AI or automate it, use AI, because a lot of systems now, especially CRMs, uses AI to help do the simple task like reply to emails and do follow-ups. And then the last one, again, run your business and don't let it run you. So again, we're joined by Tom from Wedding Wire. And so I've been building him up for the last few weeks, so he's finally here. So I'm going to give him a chance to introduce himself to you.
Thank you. I don't know what the big build up, but it is a pleasure and an honor to be with you, Dwayne, and everybody that's listening here. I hope that I can share some information with you, what's happening out there in the world of weddings right now, what's going on with the Knot and Wedding Wire, what's going on with Gen Z, etc. But a little bit about myself, maybe first, is I joined the Knot way back in 2008 when I was still trying to convince people they didn't need to be in the phone book and maybe they should really have a website. So I've been around a long time. I had many, many different jobs at the Knot and all these years, running sales, training enablement. But what I've always done at the Knot is I traveled and I spoke and I learned from wedding professionals like you, what's working, what's not working, and then sharing that internally and then externally. After 12 years, I left for about 2 years and I became the CEO of 2 large wedding venues here in Florida. I live in South Florida because I really wanted to see what it was like to be on your side of the table, right? Like, what's it like to run a small business? What are the daily grinds? How do you deal with, advertising and marketing? How are you dealing with client issues and things like that? After 2 years, I came back and now I am back to traveling 80% of the year probably. And last year I talked to about 45,000 wedding professionals in large groups, small groups, one-on-ones. Dwayne, you and I have had a bunch of one-on-ones over the past couple of months for sure. And I'm still learning, still sharing, and I'm taking that back. My goal is at this point in my career is just simply to help. I'm not looking to build a resume anymore. I am not in sales anymore. I just want to help people learn and grow their business to be successful for themselves, hit their goals, and support their family in their dreams.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking back when I first met you on Joe Bunn's it was a webinar. It wasn't really his podcast. It was a webinar. And it was like a lot of things because I was struggling with getting I was gonna say getting leads. I was getting leads on Wedding Wire and a Knot when I was the budget DJ. So once I raised my prices, I noticed that a lot of the leads stopped coming in. And it was like I put what I thought should be up on, my storefront and all that. I was doing the busy work and not business work. And I didn't realize there were certain things, I guess you could say certain, what's the word?
Tools?
Not tools, but the way that you do things. There's certain best practices. That's what I had to think. It's been a second since I've been in. I forget all those lingos from the teaching because since I don't hear it all the time. Best practices for not only Wedding Wire and doing the knot and all that, but it's just in general. There's certain best practices that you think we should know as a professional, but sometimes we overlook that.
Well,
So
and it's really, Dwayne, it's really tough to know these things now, right? Because the world is changing. Like what was working 6 months ago isn't working anymore. Let's step back. Let's talk about like what happened in 2024. In the world of weddings in 2024, things shifted. Okay. The first thing that started happening in 2024 is that we reset the number of weddings to 2 million weddings. So we reset the number of weddings back to what it should be back into like 2018. But all that pent up demand coming off of COVID of 2.5, 2.3, 2.1 million weddings went back to 2 million weddings in 2024. So DJs and other all wedding professionals, they were seeing less leads because there were less weddings and they're booking less weddings, but more competition than ever before because many people jumped on the bandwagon during COVID and after COVID to pick that up. So that's number one. So back to 2 million weddings. The other thing that happened in 2024, the Knot does the largest real wedding study in the world. And we survey couples and we ask them 50 questions about their wedding, and they're writing paragraph after paragraph. And then it's up to us to take that information, slice it and dice it, and share it with pros and news and by market, by category. And for the first time ever in 2024, the economy came up as a concern for them getting married. Never happened for 15 years before. The economy never was an issue. Even back in 2008, 2009, the economy didn't come up, but in 2024, the economy. And the last thing, as far as like the perfect storm of wedding, the business of weddings, is we had a generational shift in 2024. Any business, no matter what you are, anytime there's a generational shift that's happening, a business has to adjust to that next generation. And this next generation in 2024 is Gen Z. And they were about 28 to 32% of weddings taking place in 2024 was Gen Z. But anytime there's a generational shift, you can't just switch everything in your business overnight to attract that generation, because you still have the other generation, which is in 2024 was the majority. So the businesses that I see did very well in 2024 and in 2025 and are set up for 2026 is they've made adjustments to their business. And when I say making adjustments to attract this generation, it's things like your website, which Dwayne, I know you're making some investments in your website now, right? Like the fonts in your website, the colors of your website, your packages, your pricing, where you're marketing, how you're marketing, advertising, all of those things to connect to that Gen Z. So that was 2024. What happened in 2025? The exact same thing. Still 2 million weddings. The economy was still a concern, still getting married, still have money, but they're worried. And then there were more Gen Z getting married. So as we move now into 2026, where are we in the world of weddings as far as the industry? We're still at 2 million weddings. Gen Z is probably 65 to 72% of weddings across the country at this point. So they're even a bigger part of your clientele. And we don't have the real wedding study out yet. It's coming out in about a week. And I wouldn't be surprised if the economy still isn't there. So there is this big shift that's happened in the past 3 years. And realistically, we all have to make adjustments in our business. I'm a small business owner, just like you and many people on there. I had to make adjustments to my business to connect with this generation.
Okay. So, because I didn't realize you did like a extensive kind of survey with the clients. I knew you asked like simple questions, but I didn't know it was that in depth. So what are some of the things that like specifically like some of the trends and that us DJs should be like focused more on?
So realistically, Gen Z in this generation, they want when we ask the question, what is one of the most important things that would happen during planning your wedding? 96% of them said guest experience. So they want a wonderful guest experience for their guests. What does that look like? Is it decor? Is it location? Food? Is it alcohol? Is it what the DJ or the band or whoever the entertainment part of it can bring to their wedding? They're willing to spend money and more money if you as the professional can paint that picture and connect with them and give them that guest experience. So, I mean, there's so many ways you can do that, right? You guys are much better at that than I am. I am not an entertainer in any way, shape, or form. But that's really one of the big takeaways of the Real Wedding Study, at least last year, and I'm sure it'll be the same this year. You are all the guest experience. Face it, how many weddings have I been to? If the DJ was good, the wedding was fun. If the DJ, was struggling, you left early.
Mm-hmm.
So
when we do our when they call us up and we do that open, that initial consultation, and you're trying to hopefully get a booking from them. So our conversation should be more geared on experience, not their experience and expectation.
Absolutely. So if you get a couple on the phone and you're talking to them, you should ask them the question, what are the top 3 things that you want to see at your reception or do at your reception? If you could describe how you, with one word, what you want your wedding to be, what is that word? Many times it's fun. I want a fun wedding. But this is what's interesting with this generation. Fun means, not just this generation, but fun means something different to everybody. Me, at a wedding, fun means drinking, dancing, having a good time, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when they say fun, you need to say, well, what does fun mean to you, right? So I have an example of a wedding planner out in LA who shared this story. Her name is Renee Dallow. She's fantastic. And she asked the question, well, what does fun mean to you? And this particular couple, fun meant to them, they wanted a DJ, but they just wanted the DJ for the vibes. They really wanted a wedding that was more looked like a bookstore with little vignettes and bookshelves and little game tables set up. And that was fun to them, right? So if she didn't ask the question of what does fun mean to you, she would have went down a whole different path and would have lost that job, because fun means to her, let's have a rager, right? Mm-hmm. So it's very important to dig in and ask those questions when you're on the phone with a couple, or you're emailing, or you're texting with a couple. Don't just assume they want the same old, because they want personalization, they want uniqueness, they want great guest experience.
Okay. Because I also noticed, because I've been on Facebook, I joined several wedding type Facebook groups, and I noticed a lot of people are starting to look for weddings in 2027. There's not that many 2026. If it is, it's one of those ones where either they waited to the last minute. It's one of those last minute things. It's not like a end towards the end of 2026. It's something that's within the next couple of months, or they hired somebody and then for some reason that that person was no longer available. So is that something that is a trend that's happening throughout? Because it's like I see more weddings way out than what I'm used to seeing. Let me see. I hope. I guess Tom lost.
Dwayne?
All right, now you're
Can you
back.
hear me now? Back. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I'm sorry. No clue. So if it happens again, I'll jump on my cell.
Okay. So
But anyway, I was hearing you say about, what was I hearing you say? 'Cause I
it was like weddings. I noticed when I'm on, I've joined several Facebook groups for weddings and brides and grooms. I noticed a lot of them are asking for DJs that's in, and their wedding is in 2027.
Dwayne, can you hear me?
Yep.
Hello?
Yep. I can hear you.
There you go. Can you hear me now?
Now, yeah, and now it's an echo. One somebody got a.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Dwayne?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yep, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Let me make sure.
Hello?
I'm still here. Let me see. Boom. Oh. Hopefully he'll be back. If you have any questions, you can drop them in the comment section. I see Dan from the Shuffle Couple is here. So hopefully he'll be back in a second. So while we're waiting for Dan to come back, those that's in the chat, I see several people in the chat. What kind of lead services do you use, or do you just go by word of mouth only? So are you Wedding Wire, The Knot, DJ Event Planner? Give them a few more minutes. All right, here he comes. Hey, Will. So DJ Will is in the chat. Oops, I thought I cleared it. Hopefully he'll get through. I see two. Let me see what's. All right. Can you hear me now?
Dwayne, you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you.
Dwayne?
Oh, you still can't hear me? Yep, can't.
There we go. I think we're good.
Okay. Yep, I can hear you. I heard you all the times. I guess you couldn't hear me. Can you still hear me?
Okay. You see me?
I see you. Yeah, I see you. I just can't. I guess you can't hear me. I hear you. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's something in
I'm
on Zoom on the phone that's. Let me make sure. Yep, you're open. Put this over here. Or chat stop. I guess he'll be back in a second. So, Will, how did your gig go? Because I thought you had one this week. Oh, it's this weekend. All right, cool. Yeah, it's going to be cold. Yeah, it's supposed to get I know it's supposed to be 0 degrees Saturday here, and so that means the wind chill is going to be way below 0. And then Sunday we're bracing for a big snowstorm, Sunday into Monday. So I'm glad I don't have any gigs that I have to do. But I still have to eventually get out to my storage unit and check my stuff. It's been a second since I've been out there. All right, let's see. Hopefully he'll get in. Where's my pointer? There.
Okay, now do you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. I heard you the entire time. I guess you couldn't hear me.
No, I don't know what was on. I'm so sorry. I'm on my laptop. I'm plugged in and everything. My internet. I don't know what's happened. So, but I'm on my phone now, so we should be good.
Okay. So I was saying,
apologies.
have you noticed a lot of weddings? Well, I should say, new leads that I'm seeing. A lot of people are asking for DJs in 2027. So it's not like I'm seeing a lot of not last minute, but couples asking for a DJ within that 6 month period. It's more so a year or so out.
So that is very market driven specific, right? There are some markets, like cities markets, where a planning cycle is 9 to 14 months. I was just in Des Moines, Iowa, and it's like 16 to 19 months. So depending on the market is the length of the planning cycle. However, there is a shift with Gen Z where their planning cycle is much shorter. So I'm hoping for you, Dwayne, and everybody on here, in the year for the year weddings will continue to grow. I mean, you should be, it's January. You're still going to book 2026 weddings. But as the time goes by and we get into June and July, you're obviously going to be booking 2027. But in the year for the year market, it changes. The planning time changes. Off the top of my head, I mean, it's very different in every single market. So, but Gen Z, again, they're not taking as much. They might reach out to you today, and then you don't hear from them for 3 months. And then they reach back out to you and say, oh, are you available in 6 weeks? Because I'm getting married in 6 weeks. So it's just that's the facts of it. No.
Okay, so it's really not, because I know a lot of people say this, and I kind of like felt that this way too. So when you reach out to someone, it's normal for them to really not respond to you. So therefore, you should continue to like do soft follow-ups.
Yeah. So do we want to get into like follow-ups now?
Yeah, because I know you said you had to leave, and that was the big thing.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I'm here for y'all. So in the perfect world in which I live, and coming from experience and talking to literally thousands of people and one-on-ones, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of one-on-ones, and helping people last year, and I had 6 one-on-ones today and helping people with this. When you receive a lead, I don't care where it comes from, what is your process? Is that written down? Because this is what's happening. This is their inbox. Hopefully everybody can see me. This is their inbox. This is their voicemail. This is their text message, and this is their email. When they send you a lead, no matter where it comes from, they probably sent 5 to 7 or 8 other leads for a DJ the same time they sent you a lead. If you are not staying at the top of that inbox, what's happening is you're getting buried, and it's not that they ghosted you. They don't know you exist because you're getting buried at the bottom of their inbox. So how do we overcome that? Number one, if you receive a phone number from a couple, from your website, from the Not Wedding Wire, you should be called. Before I even send the first email, I'm calling it and I'm saying, hopefully they answer, but if they don't, I'm saying, hey, this is Tom's from Tom's DJ, just received your inquiry. Thank you so much. The good news is we are available for your wedding day. I'm going to send you a quick text. Then I text and say, this is Tom's from Tom's DJ. I just left you a message. We are available. Please feel free to text me back at this number. I want to hear more about your wedding and how we can help. I'm going to send you an email. Then I'm sending an email. And over the course of the next 30 days, and there's a cadence to it, I'm going to send 6 more emails, and I'm going to call and text 3 to 4 more times, because that's what it's taking now, right? Instead of getting buried, you go down and then you're back at the top. You go down, you're back at the top. Within those emails, especially with this generation, it isn't about you booking them. It's about getting them to, your goal of a lead is to get a two-way conversation. Ultimately, you want to book them, but you got to get a two-way conversation going via text, via phone, or via email before you can have a sales consultation to book them. So your email content needs to be, no more than 150 words. It has to be helpful to build trust and rapport. You have to answer their questions, right? So the first question you get, Dwayne, is what? Are you available? What's the price?
Mm-hmm.
You got to answer that. Yes, I'm available. And instead of giving the laundry list of, 7 different packages and 15 different price points and weekdays, you can just simply put in that first email. Our price ranges from $1,000 to $5,000 or whatever that may be. And couples usually spend $2,500. And then I'm bullet pointing in the email everything that they get. You get me for 5 hours, professional mic, we have meetings and all the things that they get. I also see a lot of DJs now having luck that when they get that first email, when they get the inquiry and they're sending that first email, they're taking their phone and they're doing a video of themselves. Hey, Tom, great news. My name's DJ Tom, and we are available on February 5th, 2026. So excited to talk to you. Please let me know how I can help. Respond by email or call or text me. And they're just attaching that video into their first email. You, again, back to you all are the entertainers. Show the personality. That's what they're looking for. But every email needs to build trust and rapport. We can talk 3 hours just about this subject. But when I'm helping people, and I've helped enough people, and I've learned from enough wedding professionals across the country over and over again, if what you're doing right now is not working, something needs to change. Do you have a lead problem, or do you have a booking problem, or do you have both? Are you getting leads and you're just not booking them? Well, something's wrong. Are you following up enough? Is the content that you're using in the emails too pushy? That, hey, just call me if you have any. Don't ever end your emails. If you have any questions, let me know. That's a dead end, right? You want to end your emails with an open-ended questions like, talk to me. What are the 3 things you want to see at your reception? So that get them talking. So it's so important to keep following up, right? Like the reality of every lead that you get, Dwayne, regardless if it's from your website or from the Knot or Wedding Wire or referral, you paid for that lead. And when you're not following up enough, it's just like flushing it down the toilet, right? Like if you know that lead costs you $30 a month and you're not, or $30, that lead costs you $30 every one of those leads, and you're not following up, calling, texting, and emailing, and have systems in place to be able to do that, then I want you to send me a $30 check to my address when you're not following, you know, because it's that important. You paid for that lead.
Mm-hmm.
So I could go on and on about that.
Right. Because that's where I'm at right now. Because I'm thinking my issue is the closing part, because I've been trying to practice my whole sale process. Because that's the one thing the guy, when he was looking through my website and socials, that's the one thing that he said was missing when he did the sell me this pen activity. It's like I never really had a workflow or a system when I do my consultation calls. So that's what I've been trying to put together, and then also trying not to talk too much, because it seemed like they ask a question and I answer it, but then I give this long drawn out answer, and it goes back to what you were saying earlier, that I'm spending more time talking details and specifics and not the experience. And so that's where I gotta try to work better.
So can we talk about sales consultations a little bit?
Yes, because that's what I need help with.
A lot of people with that too. Yeah. So you know, let's back up a little bit. So you get a lead, don't care where it comes from. You've worked really hard to get a two-way conversation. The goal of your lead is to get a two-way conversation. The two-way conversation that turns into a what? A sales consultation. Mm-hmm. So we paid for that lead, we got into a sales consultation, and this is how a sales consultation should really happen. Like you said, you shouldn't be talking a lot. But after you have idle chit chat, the second step to the sales consultation is setting an agenda, right? Because I want to know in my mind what I'm going to say, and I want the client to know what's going to happen. So I'm going to set an agenda with Dwayne and pretend I'm the DJ and Dwayne is the client. Dwayne, thank you so much. So excited to talk to you today. What I'd like to do is ask you a few questions about your wedding. Figure out like what's most important to you. I'm then going to show and tell a little bit about myself. And if I feel like we're a good fit, I'm possibly going to make a recommendation. Does that sound okay, Dwayne?
Yes.
Okay. So now what did we just do there? We laid out the process. You know that I'm going to ask questions, I'm going to show and tell, and possibly going to recommend, and most importantly of setting an agenda, Dwayne, is you agreeing to it. Yes, I understand. Does that sound okay? Yes. So now I move into my next section, which is what? Needs analysis or questions. And this is where you let them talk, right? Tell me about your dream wedding. Tell me about the 3 things you definitely want to see as far as entertainment on the dance floor or at your reception or ceremony. Tell me what you don't want to happen. That's equally as important. Mm-hmm. You know, the things that you don't want to happen. On a scale of 1 to 10, Dwayne, how important is the party aspect of your wedding? Describe in one word the feeling of your wedding. Fun, romantic, etc., like I was talking earlier. And you just let them talk. Because what I'm doing is I'm formulating all the things that are important to Dwayne or that client. When I get to my recommendation, I'm going to use that. So now we're done with the needs analysis. I gathered the questions, the important questions of time, of how much time and where all that is important, but that's a very small part of the needs analysis. You really want to get them talking about what their wants and needs are. So then I move on to the show and tell. Fantastic, Wayne. Thank you so much for sharing. What I'd like to do now is just tell you a little bit about me and what my company does and how we can help you achieve your dreams. And that should be a pitch that you already have in your head, right? Like I've been doing weddings and bar mitzvahs and everything else for so many years, and I've won this award or that award, and your elevator pitch. I don't know that, or I'd give you your elevator pitch. Do you have any questions? No. Okay, so next is my recommendation. And Dwayne, you said earlier that really, you wanted people dancing on the dance floor 80% of the time. And you wanted more upbeat music and only a few slow songs. You also talked about having props and things at your wedding, right? So what I'm going to recommend, and your wedding is at this place and it's going to be about 5-hour reception. I'm going to recommend this package. And in this package, you get blank, 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 blank. And the investment of that is $2,500. And then I shut up. This is the opportunity to let that sink in. And I have a problem with silence. You know, that's tough for me. Like, yeah, I don't like the silence, but I have a problem with that. And I then start vomiting in the mouth. But I have a little sticky note on my laptop that will say "shut up," and it keeps me from talking. But then that silence goes by, and then you're going to say, "Okay, is there anything? Do you have any other questions? Is there anything keeping you from using me as your DJ and entertainment today?" No. And then what are they going to say? Well, I got to check with my fiance, or my dad pays the bill. I got to check with my dad. So, and then I'm going to ask them, okay, understandable. If you would like, I will send you an email with a proposal with all this information that we talked about. And in that proposal, I'm going to really type out everything that they said, right? And is it okay that if we have another call on Thursday? What time good on Thursday? I'm trying to get them to commit to a time. And they'll say yes. And then this sounds corny, I know, but how many times did you do a proposal, Dwayne, and then they ghost you? Right? They ghost you. You've done all the work and they still are ghosting you. Mm-hmm. And then I always say, you know, something silly like, pinky swear, man, you're not going to ghost me. We just had this great conversation. I want to work with you. I know we can do great things together at your wedding. Yeah, I won't ghost you, right? So there's much more into the sales consultation, but it's really a steps to the consultation. You know, introduction or idle chit chat, set the agenda, needs analysis, show and tell, recommendation, and then close. So I don't think we went over that in our calls, Dwayne, but I have a PDF I can share with you. I'll share it with you tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, you didn't, but that's almost to the T that the guy that had coached me for the week, that's how he had set it up. And then when he was talking, it reminded me, because I had just went to like a bridal show and a home expo, so we had someone come in to do our roof, someone to look at doing our bathroom, and then we got our basement waterproof. And while he was saying it, and while you were going through it, it was the same format that they had. It's like, now it's just a matter of me, now that I have the idea of what the outline is how to go from one thing to the other. And what's the feedback that I got, because I was using AI to kind of like do the backwards and forth, the voice backwards and forth. A lot of the feedback that I got was that I tend to not let each section of my phone sales breathe, or let the sit back and, like you said, sit back and be quiet and let the customer think about it or respond or that kind of stuff.
So I was in charge of sales, a very large sales team at the Knot, right? And it doesn't matter what you're selling, advertising, DJ service, bathroom remodels, whatever it may be, a sales consultation process is the same. I strongly suggest, Dwayne, that you sit out and you type out the entire verbiage of a sales consultation, right? Like setting the agenda, the question, like the perfect sales consultation. I don't want you to be a robot and read from it, but when you write that out and you start using bits and pieces of it, like if I don't set an agenda on a consultation, and you and I have had many calls, you've heard me set agendas before, right? So if I don't set that agenda, I feel like I'm all over the place because I don't have a path in my own head. I'm so conditioned to set an agenda and follow that. But it's very important for you to write it out, read it, and then you do it 3 or 4 times in life and it just becomes natural to you. at that point, because you worked really hard to get him to that sales consultation. Don't lose it. Don't lose it because I talked too much. I talked myself out of this sale, or it's very hard. I listen to a lot of wedding pros sales consultations too, and it's very hard for some people to say when they're doing a needs analysis that the couple wants the light up flash things, and they want 4 hours of music, and they want this and they want this, for that DJ to say, oh, I have that, I can do that. That is not the time you're saying you can do all that, right? You're missing the point of show and telling. Successful DJs too, what they'll do is they share their screen on a Zoom call, and they will actually share a video, part of a video of a wedding, right? Like, this is what I did to get people on the dance floor. This is what I did. This is how I MC, just to show you this. And it's a video clip that's maybe not on your website or on social. So the show and tell part of it before the recommendation is very important. You're entertainers. I keep saying this. This should be second nature for you all. It's not second nature for most other categories out there. They're not as much of extroverts as this group is. I hope that was helpful. We can talk about that for an hour alone, but
Right. So I'm trying to keep notes down, so I have something so I can like try to package it all together at the end of our show, and then also the key points will help me trying to like remember what to do. So the DJ is the entertainer, so try to always show and tell.
Right, in the sales consultation, yes. I don't know if there's chat in here or not, but I'm wondering if anybody actually does that in a consultation. Like, is anybody doing a Zoom call and showing a clip of you in action, of their product in action?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not doing it, do it. You're connecting with them, right? You're showing what you're doing. You're not just telling it, you're actually showing.
Yep, I know. I want to say Buddy does it from TBM Productions, because he has a podcast that we all sit in on Tuesdays. So I know several of them talk about taking pictures and showing the couple their uplighting and all their different packages to try to sell it as a add-on. So I know they do it a lot.
Imagine this: when you're doing that needs analysis and you ask, how much is the lighting important to you? Or, many DJs do photo booths, the guest experience, right? Like, what is that guest experience in painting? Asking questions about guest experience. And then when you get to the show and tell part, you're showing the guest experience that you're actually giving that couple, rather than just talking the guest experience. You're actually physically showing that in a video, and you can stop it and start it and talk through it. Do you have any questions? What do you like with this? What don't you like with this? Etc. Getting that two-way conversation going at that point.
It just made me think, because I remember back in 2021, I joined Joe Bunn's Web's group, the DJ Vault group, and he kind of like had like a template of the his consultation slides. Now that you said what you said, and then after I understand how everything goes, now I can see how those slides come into play. Because I tried tried using those slides, but I didn't know the why and the reasoning behind it. So to me, it didn't stick until you just said something. If you're asking questions about their needs and wants, and they telling you their experience, then when it comes to me doing the show and tell, then if I have video proof right there, then that's when that comes in. And that's why you have the video proof right there ready to go.
Exactly. And it's interesting now too. I don't know how many people are still using a slide deck to show and tell. Maybe there are, but this generation consumes more short-term video than any other generation before. And hope, if you can find the video, absolutely find the video. And do or make the video, hopefully it's January, depending where you are. In Florida, this is our busy time of year. We're doing weddings down here in January, February, March, April. Then we die the rest of the year. But do that. Take that video. But what I caution you on, don't have that video anywhere else, because they want to see, because they've already, before they reach out to you, Dwayne, they're looking for you in 4 different places before they even think of sending you a lead. So they've seen your social media, they've seen your website, they've seen you on the Not Wedding Wire, they've seen you in different places. So when you're doing your show and tell, and if it's a video or if it's pictures or a deck, make it be fresh copy that they didn't get to see somewhere else.
Oh, okay. So I wonder if that's why, because I know it's on Instagram, especially a lot of my DJ friends, they've been posting, I've been seeing the same kind of posts. So it's almost like what you were saying, talking about the DJ experience kind of thing. Either they are mixing a certain way or they're showing a crowd and the action kind of stuff. Those, was it 10, maybe 15 seconds, Instagram shots. Do you want your, do you want your wedding to be like this? And they'll show it. So I guess that's one way you can do it.
So probably in your show and tell, you want a little longer clips, so you can talk through the clip also. But it's certainly not more than 30 seconds, 30 seconds of this is me in action in MC. This is me how I introduce the couples coming in. This is me, many DJs are officiants too. You know what I mean? Like, this is me being an officiant, et cetera. So whatever your products and services are, and the things that you love to do so much, get some clips of that and start trying to use that in your sales consultations.
That's what I gotta do, because I have tons of footage. It's just a matter of going in and editing and finding them. But we did have a question in the chat, and it came from DJ Will. He was like, he was wondering if if brides like white setups or black setups, or do they care? Or did they even ask me, put that in their survey?
Well, it's interesting. The real wedding study that we have done, as far as colors are concerned, it is much more white, creams, linen type colors than black. But I don't have a specific knowledge of DJs. Their colors for their weddings are leaning more into the whites and the lighter colors. But I think that's a great question for you to ask in your needs analysis. Because, Dwayne, do you have different setups? Do you have white, black? Right? You can do, or you could if you wanted to.
Yeah,
right?
I have the options, but I pretty much stick with black.
DJ will, but well, maybe you start asking, because it's about personalization, right? And if you have the options, why aren't we talking about that in our consultation? Why aren't we talking about that on our website? Why aren't we talking about that in our needs, on our email follow-ups? Because we know customization, personalization, and uniqueness is very important. So just a thought. It's a thought. It's a great question, but I think we asked the client that. So again, you're connecting to your off, and then when you get to recommendation stage, and you know that they're more interested in a white clean setup, we're going to say, and we're going to set up in the white clean setup. And you're connecting that recommendation based on what their needs are.
Okay. And so is there any other things, because I know piggybacking on Will's question, I know we usually get in the DJ community, we get into a big argument about what is important as far as the DJ that our clients don't think is important, because we can get into talking about brand names and different kinds of equipment and all that. So, or names on laptops. Little, I say it's silly. Do you, in your survey, do the client actually talk about all that? This DJ sucks because he used this kind of brand or anything?
No, not really. But I think that comes back to asking those types of questions the setup at the needs analysis, or show that that's your setup. But everybody's couples are different. There's some couples that like all the stickers and like all the flashy stuff. Nothing wrong with that in any way, shape, or form. But if that's all you're showing on your website, if that's all you're showing on your Instagram accounts, at my daughter's $150,000 wedding, I probably don't want that flashy stuff. So I'm probably not going to call you, because I think I'm making that up, by the way. I didn't pay $150 for a wedding. But I probably wouldn't call you, because that is not the type of wedding that I'm looking for. So remember, everything that you put out there in social media, in your website, in your blogs and everything should be talking to that ideal client. So, everybody, there's something for everybody out there. And where I find wedding professionals in general try to make, where they make a mistake is this: they don't know who their ideal client is. Okay. So when you really don't know who your ideal client is, I equate this to fishing. You're throwing a net in the ocean. Okay. And eventually some fish is going to get stuck in that net, and you're going to pull it in. And even though that's not a good eating fish, I got to eat it because I'm hungry. Right. But when you're fishing in the ocean with 3 or 4 different poles, with the right bait at the right time of year, at the right time of day, you're catching the fish that you want to eat or that you want to keep. So that analogy is very similar to your sales and your marketing and your branding and all of those things. So fish with the right pole, fish with the right time of day, fish with the right bait. When you're throwing a big old net in there, I could give you this example too. It wasn't a DJ, it was a photographer, but DJs can relate to this too. This was last week, and it was a photographer. Their website was amazing. It was very professional. The click, I mean, everything looked fantastic. And it looked like this photographer he's not gonna do anything for less than $5,000. It was that, professional of a website. I click over to his Instagram account, which he had somebody else doing his Instagram account, and it looked like a circus, right? Colors and, surveys. And I said, you have an identity crisis here. You have somebody that goes to your website and they see this professional looking image. That's the image you told me you were looking to create. And then they go to your Instagram account and it is not the same company. It doesn't look the same. So the people that go to your website and then go to your Instagram, they're like, oh, that guy's probably not for me. Or vice versa. The people that love that Instagram stuff and went to their website, oh, not for me. The same thing with your Knot and Wedding Wire storefronts. Dwayne, you and I talked about that. You need to update your photos. You need to update your text. You need to get those reviews. You need to do all that stuff so that you attract your ideal client in every place that you're at. You need consistency. So that's and many people hire social media people, but you got to talk to whoever's doing your social media. You also have to feed them photos, right? And if you're trying to do it on your own, then it should at least, and if you're doing it on your own, it should at least match. But looking at an identity crisis, you look like an identity crisis, that's like throwing, even a smaller net in the middle of the ocean when we don't even know who really your ideal client is.
Yeah, because that's what I was going through.
So
that's exactly what the guy that kind of like looked over all of my stuff was saying. It's like, yeah, it's inconsistent because everything is not matching up. So that's what I've been busy trying to do, making sure that I'm using the same color scheme, the same kind of font, the same kind of pictures. So therefore everything matches up, as opposed to seeing one thing, then going here, and then it's all scrambled and not really getting a perfect idea.
Right.
So you're saying
what you
couples
do well, why I love working with.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. What you do well, why I love working for you is you're always looking to improve, right? And you're not too proud to say, oh, I didn't do that so well, and I'm going to reach out to a professional or somebody that knows better than me. because you're trying to build a business again,
Right.
right? Like, so, and there's so much free education. Look what you're doing on this podcast. You know what I mean? I don't know how many people are listening to this, but look what you're doing here. And there's so much of that free education out there. But you take the bits and pieces that you're learning from everybody and you make it your own, and then you test it, right? Like I'm saying you need to follow up 7 times and call 3 and 4 times, and the emails should look like this and build trust and rapport and all this stuff. And you do that, and then you got to test it, right? You got to know your numbers too, meaning that I would like to know what your lead to booking percentage is. Why is that an important number? Because if you wanted to do 100 weddings and your lead to booking percentage is 10%, well, then you need 1,000 leads a year, or you better improve your lead to booking percent. The next stat that you should know as far as your business is concerned is your leads to two-way conversations, right? So I want to take, if you look at the past 20, 10, whatever leads that you got, how many of those actually hit reply? If you have 5 or 6 follow-ups, wait the 30 days, but how many of those actually hit reply? And if that's a low number of 2 out of 10, well, then there's something that needs to change, right? Mm-hmm. Is that the content? Is the fact that you're not staying at the top of their inbox enough? And then out of those two-way conversations, how many turn into a sales consultation? And then sales consultations to bookings. Because if you get them all the way through a sales consultation and you're still at 3 out of 10, then you need to improve your sales consultations, or you need to improve the qualifications before the qualifications of that couple before they get to the sales consultation. Are they a good fit? They should know they're a good fit based on your product, your services, and your pricing before they get to that sales consultation. So like I have another PDF I can share you with that. I know your math. But those are important things to know as a business owner. I don't care what category or business that you're in. Even my small business, I look at those numbers monthly because it takes me down the path of what I'm doing is working, or I'm not happy at 2 out of 10. I need to try something better next month to try to get that to 4 out of 10 or whatever that metric is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly. Because that's why I was kind of like looking at, like it's one of those things where when I first started back in like 2021, I was getting the leads. That was all great, but I wasn't getting the bookings. So it's like now it's like, again, I'm seeing less leads, but at the same time, those leads are at least I'm getting some kind of response back, or at least the green check saying that they opened it up and all that kind of stuff. So that's where I'm at. It's just one of those things where
another call.
I gotta be careful sometimes because I look at other DJs and I start comparing myself to other people instead of following my own path and staying focused and staying true to what I'm doing, not basing my success or where I'm going based on somebody else's, approach.
And somebody else's success could be that they have a different clientele than you. They have a different price point than you. They go to different venues than you. You know what I mean? Like, and you're unique in your own right. So, but there's if it's not working, you need to know the numbers, what's not working, and then you need to change it, right? Like the follow-up process that you and I talked about with the 7 times and all that stuff, that is virtually impossible to do if you don't have some sort of automations. If you're getting 50 leads a month, and this lead is on day 3, and this lead's on day 7, and this lead's on day 9, all in the same day, how are you going to remember what email template you're sending manually? I mean, I see people do it on Google Sheets, but that's what there's automations out there. Even on the Knot and Wedding Wire, in your lead inbox now, we've created an automation that you can go in, and there's 4 automations that you can put in your own information, and they'll get it immediately. They'll get it day 1. They get it 4 days later, 4 days later, 4 days later. So it's important. Again, if one thing you take away from our time is staying at the top of that inbox, because the goal is to get a two-way conversation going.
All right. So I'm trying to go to Wedding Wire inbox.
You got to go into your dashboard.
All right, dashboard. Yep. Okay.
And then go to your inbox and you'll see auto reply button and an automation button.
See, am I missing? Wait a minute. Because I know the auto reply. Oh, automize your leads. Let's see if it's down there.
Yep. So click on that and it'll come up with like, you can enter your text here, wait 4 days, enter your text here. And that is just our first version of that. That's going to keep getting better and better and better this year. Because that's a big pain point for wedding pros, especially single ops, where you're one person and plus you're working a full-time job and you really don't need a CRM quite yet, a full CRM, right? But there's also software out there that does it. My side business, I use Flowdesk. It's like $30 a month. If I can figure out how to use it, I think anybody can, you know? So there's other just plain software out there. You know, there's MailChimp, you can do it. There's Constant Contact. But the problem with some of those is they don't do automated texting. A true CRM will do automated texting too. Like when you're going, I just came from the dentist today. Oh, you have a cleaning appointment today at 10. You know how you got those texts 24 hours, you know, so you can set that up too. Again, back to staying at the top of their inbox.
Okay. Yeah, because after talking to you, I figured out how to set one up in HoneyBook. So I had that set up.
Oh, that's right. You have HoneyBook. Yes, you have HoneyBook. I don't think HoneyBook does automated texting, but it's okay. I mean, it's better than it does some good things.
Yeah.
But you got to move your not wedding wire leads over manually into HoneyBook, right?
Yeah.
You got to because it automatically doesn't happen. So but it's important to take that information.
Because I think Aaron, Craig Hackers I think he was a Zapier or something. There's a program that can kind of like take it from one thing and, you know, send it over that's not naturally done on its own.
Correct. So there's some people smarter than me that know how to do that. I don't know if it can be done on HoneyBook. If there is, fantastic, do it. But absolutely, I know there's some CRMs that do it for sure. So
you were saying there was 4 touch points. Let me try and pull up my 4 places that clients look at, and I miss it each time.
Right before they email you to send you a lead, on average, a couple's looking for you in 4 different places. So it could be the venue's preferred list. It could be your website. It could be the Knot. It could be Instagram. It could be Facebook. You know, but they're looking for you at minimum 4 different places. Let's talk about pricing a minute, Dwayne.
Yeah,
a little bit. What do you? The statistic is 76% of couples most likely won't even send you a lead if they can't find quickly on your website or wherever they're looking for you, the Not Wedding Wire storefront, your pricing. 76%. Because we all know pricing is important, right? Like when I'm looking for a product or service, I'm looking for availability and pricing. I was looking for a chainsaw recently. And this one website that I found, I wanted to buy this chainsaw. I couldn't find pricing. Like, how would you find pricing on a chainsaw? Which was the stupidest thing. I'm like, gone. Next. So, you know, I don't know. You know, I still come across DJs and wedding professionals across there that don't put pricing on their website. And I know it's controversial. Don't shoot the messenger. But the statistic is 76% of people that find you, that you don't have some sort of pricing, even if it's just a range, price ranges from this to this, couples usually spend this, they will not send you a lead. So any comments in the comment section?
It's dead,
on that
but
one?
it's dead, but it's 10:04,
It's
so
dead.
in a few minutes they'll be coming over from the Start to Spin, that group. And then Buddy is the one, he uses the Knot. I think he does both of them, but he's all over. He'll use the other ones too. So he'll probably come in and say and make some comments and ask questions. But yeah, we just have Will right now. I was going to say something. Another thing I found that, because that's the one thing that my coach had pointed out. Because with my initial website, I was too wordy. And he was saying a lot of couples now just want to get to the information, be able to scroll, find it real quick, because if they have to go, reading and digging, then that's when they do what you just said, click off and go somewhere else.
Yep, absolutely. There's another hack too that I like to share. Not so much a hack, just a tool. Print out a copy of your email, or have it an email follow-up, and give it to your neighbor, or give it to your somebody who's not in the wedding business, who would tell you the truth, and have them read your email. And you silently count to 12 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of 12 seconds, you say stop, and you ask them, what were your 2 takeaways after 12 seconds? Did it encourage you to hit reply, or did it encourage you to keep reading? That will be very, very eye-opening to you as if that lead content you're sending is connecting. Mm. So it's 12, historically we got 12 seconds to make a first impression in an email. I don't think I can read an email more than 15 seconds, quite frankly. Mm-hmm. Like if I get these big emails now, my attention span is probably more, I think attention span of a goldfish is 7 seconds. So I probably have a little more than a goldfish, but not much.
So when you do consultations, that's another thing, because as you talk, I'm trying to type. I haven't got anything where doing a consultation where it can automatically, because I know like with Zoom, if I was to hit transcribe, because that's what I use when I do Zoom consultations. I can just hit transcribe where everything that's being said will be typed out for me. Is there anything that you can suggest, like if you're not like on Zoom?
So there's 2 things. Last year I discovered something called Applaud. Plaud. And this is it's on the back of my phone on a magnet, and it almost looks like a wallet on the back of your phone. You know how you have wallets on the back of your phones? And I push a button and click a button up, and it will record whatever I want it to record, a message from me or a conversation. That goes into the Plaud app then, that not only transcribes it, but you can do a million things with that. You can, connect it to your calendar if there's follow-ups. You can create a slideshow with it. You can have it look for just like it's sort of like ChatGPT. You can do anything you want with that information. It's PLUD, and it's like $159 on Amazon. But now they came out with one that's a little like a little microphone too. You can clip to your lapel or your shirt or something. So that's one thing. But on your sales consultation, there's something called Circle Back. And Circle Back will do, like Zoom, it transcribes it, but you can do a lot more with that too. There's a ton of software out there. I love my Plaud, because I talk to a lot of people and I'll forget. So I give myself notes or I'll just record the conversation. So the interesting thing is, Dwayne, when the next sales consultation you do, is there a way to record it like on a Plaud? Then you can go back and listen, not just read the transcript, but listen and use that as a self-coaching opportunity for yourself. What you did well, what needs to be improved. It's like watching football tapes, right? After a football game, you watch the tape. It's the exact same thing.
Okay. So, can you see? Can you see my? Are you watching this on YouTube?
Am I?
Yeah. Because I was going to share my the link, my screen to see if this is what you were talking about with Plaud. It's Plaud .ai.
I could get on YouTube. Let me look. YouTube.
He'll be popping up in a second. While he's doing that, I'd like to say, what's up, DJ Mikey Mike? And Mikey Mike is saying that he's going to get a bunch of snow, and he's still trying to recoup. Yeah, it should be up there now because it just popped up on my screen. at Plod Desktop.
No.
Yeah, because that's what I like about Zoom.
Imagine being able to build it.
Yeah, I can't get into it.
But yeah,
so.
but it's but you said it was Plod, PLAUD dot.
UD.
Yep. Okay.
IT. Yep. So that I love that. So like I know venues that they record their entire tours with applauds.
Mm.
You know, and then they go back and use this coaching, or they can go back and say, no, we didn't say that. We said this to the couple, you know. So, but there's tons of software out there to be able to do that.
Okay. So everyone that's in the chat, if you have any more questions or any questions for Tom, I shouldn't say any more, but any questions for Tom, this is your time to ask. Because we're not doing the marathon show tonight. We were just hanging around just long enough to give the people from Start to Spin to join us if they have any questions to ask Tom.
And then go back and listen to this one because we had a lot of good nuggets.
Yeah, we
Lots
did.
of good nuggets for the past hour.
Yep. Some of them like, let me see. Let me make sure I got it all together. Let me move this out the way. And let me see. So we have, you said 96% of the guests, you said 96% guest experience, and talk about their experience, Gen Zs. So basically.
So we asked the question on our real wedding study of when you're planning your wedding, what is the most expensive thing that you were wanted to have at your wedding, and 96% of them was giving their guest a great guest experience. So by far more than anything else, and guest experience looks different for each couple, right? Like some of it's food, some of it's decor, some of it's entertainment, some of it's unique things on the table, favorite, whatever that may be. But that's a big number, and all entertainment companies should be playing up on the guest experience that you can offer these couples.
So what is the percentage going through your whole consultation outline? So we have let me go through the outline. So you have the banter, the opening banter, and then it goes to setting the agenda, that's you. And then you listen to the couple for their wants and needs and analysis for their event.
That's the needs analysis.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's the show and tell, that's your sales pitch about yourself. And you try to listen in for key information during their needs and analysis, so you can basically connect what you do to the experience that they want. Then you move into
Absolutely.
And then you move into
that's the recommendation,
right? And then you got to stay silent. I got to put that in because that's where I mess up. After the package and recommendation, you just sit back and remain silent. And then you go in for the close, where you send you ask them for their information to send an email follow-up. So
I try to get them closed right there if I can, right? Like I will say, is there anything stopping you from having me or us be part of your wedding right now? And then shut up. And they go, so, well, no, you know what I mean? Like, who else do you have to ask? Or who else should we bring into this? Like, who are the decision makers? You know? So if you really do a good job in that sales consultation and follow that process, the easiest thing about the sales consultation becomes the close, because you hooked them. Mm-hmm. You know, you hooked them with their needs. You hooked them with your show and tell, like, because you create your show and tell based on what their needs are too. And mm-hmm. hopefully we talked about showing little video clips of what you're doing. And then when you get to the recommendation, you're using their information that they want and reminding them, based on what you shared with me, this, and this, we can do this, and this, and that investment is this. And then you shut up, and then you go for the close. So okay. It's interesting now too. There's certainly some DJs that I know, pretty big DJ companies, that they do a really good job of qualifying and making sure all the decision makers are on the call before they'll even do a sales consultation. And I think that's a great idea, you know. But like at my daughter's wedding, I didn't really want to be on the DJ call. I know I was writing the check, you know what I mean? But we had a wedding. I hired a wedding planner. I'm like, no, let the wedding planner be on the DJ call. But, you know, I think asking who are the decision makers, so we make sure that we have everybody's, you know, wants and needs. I think that's important.
Okay, so out of all of that outline, so how much, if you had to put a percentage on it, what is the percentage of the time that the DJ should talk, and then compared to what the client should be?
35% DJ talking.
Oh, I just lost you. Wait, Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now, because you said 35% for the DJ, and then I looked down now, I looked up, you were talking, but I couldn't hear you.
So like 35-40% max, but DJs especially have a challenge at letting the couple talk, because you're extroverts and you want to jump in.
Oh, you said a trigger word. My co-host that's normally here, he has a thing for wedding planners. They do not get along. You do not get along with him. So as soon as you said wedding planner, it triggered him.
Yeah. So, but on a national average, 35% of weddings now have wedding planners of some sort. And that number keeps growing every year.
Okay.
A lot of that, though, is a lot of venues are having their own wedding planners or wedding coordinators. I'm sure you guys are seeing that across the board. And there are so many wedding planners out there now, just like there's so many DJs and venues and everything else. But there's a lot of y'all. But there's 2 million weddings taking place this year. So there's plenty of business. You just got to go fish in the right place and reel it in.
So what is the fishing in the right place? Because that was something else that my coach had talked about, where he called it the sniper approach, where you're trying to go and find people that can get you more leads, like getting referrals from venues, trying to hook up and find wedding planners or other vendors that does a lot of, you know, events where they notice a lot of couples might be looking for a DJ, and it's like you help one another. So where is that pond at?
Okay, so if we go back to couples at minimum are looking for you in 4 different places. So you first have to identify who your ideal couple is and where are they looking for you. You know, so are they looking for you in a local Cleveland wedding magazine? I don't know if you have that there. You know, are they looking for you? I think everybody's looking on Instagram, right? Like they're getting inspiration. This is crazy, but Pinterest is back. Gen Z is strongly starting to use Pinterest. I know DJs and bands, they're back using Pinterest. Obviously, places like the Knot and Wedding Wire, they're getting 22 million unique visits per month. Can't debate that. We're getting 4,000 downloads on our app a day. If you have not downloaded the Knot Couple app, how they're planning their wedding, and download that show so you can understand how couples are planning their weddings and the information, inspiration they get. And the other real thing is look to see where your business is on that app. And your website, but you got to fish everywhere. To going back to like getting on venues list and planners list. I sit on a few board of directors for venues across the country, more than a few, and I ran my venues, right? Like, so we'd always have DJs and planners and everybody knocking on the door, and we were full up. We didn't need any more DJs. We didn't need any more planners, right? We didn't think we did, but when that DJ came and knocking on our door and said, I would like to shadow a few weddings here to see if we're a good fit. I will sweep the floors. I will pick up the chairs. I will help you flip the room. I want to see if we're a good fit and see if we could work together. Sign us up, right? Like it's extra hands. And then that DJ gets to work with my staff and they get connections that way. So 100% think through that, right? Like if you have the time and you really want to get into a couple of these venues, offer not your DJ service because they already have a DJ for the wedding. I want to shadow some weddings here to see if we're a good fit. You can do the same thing with planners. The next time you have a wedding, love to shadow you to see how you work. So it's a great tool. The other thing is getting out there and doing these networking associations, right? Like the WIPBuzz, the Wedding International Professional Association, the NACE, the Associated Bridal Consultant, all these local things out there. Go show your face and don't just go once and expect that, all of a sudden you're going to be on referral lists. You got to work all the angles today. So yes, online, yes, on the app, yes, on directory sites, yes, on social media, but you have to be everywhere. When I started in 2008, I literally used to have to get people to say they were still doing the phone book. 2008, I had people not wanting to do websites. Think of how business has changed since 2008. It's crazy. It's crazy. So you have a lot to juggle. Wedding pros have a lot to juggle, but you need that brand consistency in all of those places too.
Okay, yeah, because you don't have to tell me all the work that had to be put into it.
Yeah. And it's constant changing. I said to a venue the other day, I said 2018 called and they want their chairs back, because they had these old outdated chairs, and you have to watch that in the venues that you are in and you're playing in. If it's an outdated venue that's your ideal client isn't really going to like connect you with, it's not do you want, then don't post those pictures with the chairs in the background, right? Like, be careful, be very conscious about what you're posting out there and what you're saying.
Yeah, because I know a couple of DJs on a round table on Tuesday nights say that kind of stuff. But see, at the time when they say it, it's like it's going over my head, but it kind of like makes sense. Now that the way that you frame it and in the context of hearing all the other information behind it.
Excellent.
Okay, we get ready to head on out. Let me see.
No other questions from Tom from the Knot? No other questions, Dwayne? From anybody in the group?
Oh no, because I'm trying to hang around. And here in Napa,
okay.
this is DJ Mikey Mike. Here in Napa, northeastern Pennsylvania, websites are like 15 to 18% of the market. And you said barn weddings are super expensive and they have mixed up chairs.
Yep. When he said 15 to 18% of the websites, meaning he's getting 15 to 18% of his leads from his website? I'm confused on that.
Yeah, Mike, if you can clear that up. Tom was asking, what did you mean by 15 to 18% of the market? So I'm thinking.
What is he in Western Pennsylvania? Did you say?
Northeastern Pennsylvania.
Northeastern.
But I thought he was near Philadelphia and.
Okay. Yeah. I grew up in the Pittsburgh side of the world, and you talk about like how different markets are. Like a wedding in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, is very historically, ethnic Polish, Slovak. Compared to Philadelphia, it's a little different. Compared to Ohio, it's a little, you know what I mean? Like I love my job. I have this platform that I can understand weddings across the country. Like in New Orleans, I don't know if anybody's on here from New Orleans, but in New Orleans wedding, they do a half-hour ceremony, and then they go directly into a cocktail time, and they never have a sit-down dinner. It is just heavy hors d'oeuvres, and it's 2 to 3 hours most. So venues and DJs and everybody, you can do a morning wedding, an afternoon wedding, and an evening wedding in New Orleans. Where in Pennsylvania, when I got married, my reception was 7 hours long.
Hmm.
You know, like it's just so different. Markets are so different.
I was going to say, now I noticed that a lot of people are, I've gotten a few leads, and I even did a wedding back in May where they only wanted it, their reception to be 3 hours, 4 hours top, but it's usually three. It was very short. Is that something
Yeah.
that you see is happening now?
It is comes down to the market, right? Like I was just in Portland and Des Moines, and you know, no, it was in Des Moines where their average guest count in Des Moines, Iowa is 158. Our average guest count in South Florida is 88.
Mm.
So like and so historically a reception is no longer than 4 hours for sure anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there's some markets like up north, like in Detroit and stuff, it's 5, 6 hours. It's just very varies market by market.
Okay. And then Mikey Mike was saying, oh, no, people don't use websites here. So I guess it's 15 to 18% of people in the market actually go to the website. And then he says he's from Scranton, Pennsylvania, home of The Office. I think.
Yeah, I love it. I used to sell yellow pages in Scranton, Pennsylvania in the day.
Yeah, because he worked in a print shop. So I wonder if they printed those yellow pages.
And I worked in the paper company too.
Okay, so y'all might have
That's
crossed
hilarious.
paths and didn't even know it.
Yeah, maybe. Now we're in the wedding business. The wedding business is, Dwayne, guess how many $1 billion the wedding business is in the United States? Take a guess. How many billion?
50?
It's $100 billion business.
Whoa.
Are we in the right business? Heck yeah.
Mm.
We're in the right business. No,
It's
there's
just a matter
plenty
of
of weddings
charging
out
it.
there. Yeah, right. There's plenty of weddings out there. You just gotta go grab it.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to look for other revenue streams. I have a DJ friend in Dallas. It's decent size. He was doing probably 70 weddings a year, plus he was doing corporate events too. And we were talking about other revenue streams that he can do. And this was in 2024. And in Dallas and many markets, after parties are a big thing now, and they continue to grow, right? So him and I said, you need to do after parties. How difficult is it for you to come up with an after party? He goes, nothing. I know the clubs, I know the restaurant, I know the transportation people. Obviously, we're the DJ, we're the entertainment company. And he started to put a package together, put it on his website, started to talk to people. In May of 2025, he did $32,000 gross in after parties. And when you think of that, the couple probably hired a planner, never talked about it, hired the venue, which they never talked about it, which some venues can do separate after parties, probably hired the photographer, got all the way down the line to the DJ. And now he's hired a whole team to do nothing but after parties. Because the DJ that does the wedding is pretty worn out to try to go and do the after party, right?
Mm-hmm.
So think of other revenue streams that are happening out there, because couples today too like this one-stop shop situation. I have other DJs that hook their couples in with, we will come and MC your rehearsal dinner, or we will play light music at your rehearsal dinner. You know what I mean? Like if it all works out, and it's just built into the package, and the package is just a little bit more expensive. And how many DJs are offering that now? I don't know many, but the ones I know are doing a decent job at that and getting more of the weddings.
Yeah, I know.
So
My
always look
friend
for
Kevin
revenue
does that.
opportunity. Oh,
Yeah, go to the
Yeah.
wedding rehearsals and stuff.
yeah, but is he playing at the dinner or the welcome dinner? Or is he just at the rehearsal at the ceremony?
I don't know. I gotta ask him. I'm surprised he's not. Oh, he might be in a chat. He just didn't put anything in the chat.
Yeah. So anyway, I always look for revenue opportunities because it's $100 billion a year business, and there's 2 million weddings taking place this year. If I wish I had a talent like y'all DJ, photographer, something, because I would kill it in this business, but I don't have any talent. So, and that I'm not a creative like that. So I'm more of a business guy.
All right. And then let's see. Mikey Mike has said it's all about just learning to market yourselves. And I guess he worked at Offset Paperback.
I don't. I know what offset means in a printing company because I worked at a printing company too. So don't know that one.
Right. And then he said he sees hours are getting shorter here and start times are getting to be earlier.
You know, it's back to what we were saying in the 9 o'clock hour with the economic factors that are playing into our everyday lives that are certainly playing into weddings. Guest count shrinking, and they're still spending money, but they're having less guests and putting more money per head for that guest experience too. So or they're cutting their cutting their hours down. So.
And then he's also said he's going back to when you were talking about like the Polish comment, where he's saying, same here, you can be Irish, Russian, Polish, Italian, but everyone loves a polka.
I love a polka, man. I can polka. We were polkaing last weekend out. I live in South Florida, and we had a party out by my pool, and we're doing the Pennsylvania polka. And who stole the kishka? He will know what that is. Nobody else will know. The good news is my grandkids like to polka now too, so I'm passing it down.
Okay.
But that's, again, he knows his market. Right? Like he understands his market. I bet he's successful because he understands that market. When my daughter got married down here, I had a hard time finding there's a specific polka bridal dance that only the bride dances to, and none of the DJs had it. I had to call up a DJ friend in Pittsburgh to get it down to my DJ friend, but he knows. Was it Mikey Mike or whatever?
Yeah, DJ Mikey Mike, yep. DJ
Mike knows the market. Just like you should, Dwayne, know who your market is and cater to that market.
And then he says, Offset Paperback, he says it's the #1 paperback book printer in the world.
Yep. So Mikey Mike needs to give me an email. Chelednik at .ww.com. I don't know if you can put my email in the YouTube thing.
Okay. Let me go. I can pull up the email in this.
And anybody that's listening, shoot me an email. I'll be happy to go over your market advertise or don't advertise with us. Doesn't matter. Be happy to go over your stats in your market, what you're doing, looking at your lead follow-ups. My schedule the next couple of weeks is a little tight, but try to find some time.
All right, let me see. Put it. Oh, wait a minute. Go right here. Copy address and. Oh, I keep forgetting. I'm looking at my second computer and I'm trying to move my mouse over there. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. It doesn't do that. Or it's not a Mac where I can just copy over. So, chat. So that's the email I had put in. I guess I got it right.
at .ww.com. Yep.
All right.
Yeah. Shoot me an email. We'd love to hear from you all. Like I said at the start of this, where I am in my career now is simply not looking to build a resume. I'm looking to help people. And I love to be able to learn from wedding professionals and take what DJ Mikey Mike is and Dwayne is and share that. What's working, what's not working. Keep testing things. Again, I always look at, there's plenty of business for everybody out there. You got to figure out who your client is, and you have to come up with a system and process and fish in the right places and come up with system and process to get those two-way conversations going.
And yeah, he will answer back, because I was surprised when I was on Joe Bunn's thing and you had asked, what is the one thing that you're going to implement from what you heard? And when I put in my answer to say, oh, email me, I was like, whoa. I was surprised. And then you actually came on and helped me.
Yeah, email me. I'll do my, and if I can't help you, I will find somebody out in this industry to be able to help you. I will connect you with other DJs that want to help you, or other coaches, or SEO people, or Google, whatever, you know. So again, we, as wedding professionals, it's really changed, and you have to be everywhere. That's just the reality of it,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And with the technology changing so rapidly, um, you got to stay up with technology. I'm doing a presentation in Nashville if I get there this weekend, to the NACE board of directors and leadership, and it's about leadership in AI. And one of those slides really stick with me, how technology has changed. It took Instagram 2.5 years to get to 100 million followers. It took TikTok 9 months, and it took ChatGPT less than 2 months. Like to get to, you know, it's just growing. And this generation expects to have chat AI bots on your website. They expect it's okay for them to call Dwayne after hours, and it says, "This is JT, Dwayne's chat AI bot. Ask me anything." It's now becoming an expectation now that AI is answering questions and helping along. So that's a whole other presentation too. But um,
Because I was going to say, when you had mentioned that back, I think it was November, it was like that piqued my interest. And I'm just trying to figure out which app will be a good one. Because I use Wix. I know Wix has a whole bunch of different chat box, but I'm not sure which one to use.
yeah,
And what will they automatically, those chat box, will they automatically be able to answer questions in general, or just questions that it can scrub your website? And those are only.
well, it scrubs your website, but then you have to train it. You have to like train it and put in questions, get the answers, keep training. You got to put the energy into those bots. But once it's up and going, man, it just learns. It learns your voice. It learns who you are. So it's an amazing thing. At the Knot, we just launched an AI powered chatbot for our couples to connect better to the right vendor. So the chatbot answers questions, and it brings up the results. Like, that's the world in which we live. Which I always say, if there was ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity or any AI when I was a younger man, I'd be the CEO of the Knot right now, because it makes me smarter than I really am.
Yeah.
Like, so. But life's moving. Any other questions, Dwayne? In
Nope.
there?
Yep.
Okay.
I don't, because I think we covered everything, and there's a lot that we had covered.
Yeah. So people that didn't listen to the first hour, go back and listen.
Mm-hmm.
And then send me an email, and we will talk. But I want to thank you, Dwayne, for your trust and your, the stuff that I've learned from you, and all the experience that you have. And I want you all to realize, like, you all are part of the fabric of somebody's most important day. Like, take that seriously, and like pat yourselves on the back. And weddings are exhausting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're challenging. But just remember how important that you are in their story, and that's what really matters most, right? Like, you're away from your family and friends on the weekend, but what you're doing is important. So pat yourselves on the back, and I certainly appreciate everything that you guys do for the wedding industry
Yeah.
and the couples.
Okay. And thank you for coming on the show and talking with us.
Absolutely, anytime. We can get into more specific stuff next time.
Okay.
Like
So,
the real wedding studies coming out in a couple of weeks. We can talk about data all day long.
all right. So therefore, I can hit you back, and you'll join us again.
Absolutely. You're my buddy, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Great.
Okay. I hope you all got something out of this. And again, the offer's open. Shoot me an email. I appreciate it. So have a wonderful evening wherever you're at. And if you're getting snow, stay safe, as I'm getting on a plane tomorrow into the snow into Nashville.
Okay.
Maybe I'm getting there. Who knows?
So have a safe trip.
Thank you, Dwayne. Have a great evening, and I'm always here for you.
All right,
Bye,
thanks.
buddy.
All right, take care.
Bye.
All right, and then let me see. Mikey Mike says Buddy is sleeping in his van tonight. And then he says, thank you. Wish I was there this week. And don't forget that I put Tom's email in the chat. So you can, just like what he said, if you email him, he'll be more than happy to help you out. And he even said you don't have to be a member or have a profile with the knot. He'll still try to help you out. So hit him up, because I was surprised that he actually answered my email. And I'll put his information up in a second. So let me see if I can close. Again, I would like to shout out Tom from the Wedding Wire. Let me put his information up so you can, if you missed it, you can get his email. Let me see. Boom. There it is. So that's Tom, and that's his email. He's with the Wedding Wire and the Knot. So again, and I also put it in the comment section, pin it at the top so you can get to him quickly. So if you have any questions, you can go hit him up. Oh, that's Will. Let me go. And again, thank you everybody that was in the chat. We had Will, we had DJ Will, we had DJ Mikey Mike, we had Dan from the Shuffle Couple, and we're working on trying to get him to be on the show. So hopefully he'll be on the show in a couple of weeks. We'll next week we'll be talking to a person that had he had a multi-op. Now he's gone back to doing solo ops. So we'll have him as a guest next week from the I Shine music group, Christopher Summers. So he'll be our special guest. And if you haven't joined our Facebook group page, there's a long URL that you could type in, or just go to Facebook and type in CUEITUP DJ Podcast. You can join our private or public group. You can find me on all my socials at Hitman DDub. And then next week, hopefully next week, we have DJ Mikey Mike back on the show. I'm glad that his procedure was successful and he's back at home recouping. But you can follow him at DJ Mikey Mike on Twitter and Facebook, and then at DJ Mikey Mike 45 on Instagram. And we have this thing called the DJ Collective Network, where it's one culture, many voices, and it's welcome to our primetime DJ lineup, a weekly schedule of live streamed shows built for DJs by DJs. Whether you're just starting out or scaling your business, we've got the knowledge, the stories, and inspiration to help you level up. So starting us all off, on Mondays at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. For every DJ chasing dreams, no matter the odds, it's your time to spend with DJ Cool Thing. And then on Tuesdays at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Twitch, join Buddy and his weekly guest, a panel of DJs, for unfiltered conversations that matter. It's the DJ Roundtable with Buddy from TBM Productions. So if you missed the live Twitch broadcast, you can see the rebroadcast every Monday at 1 o'clock p.m. at TBM Productions DJ1, his personal YouTube channel. And then if you're interested in CEOs, marketing, and branding, look up the DJ Biz School with DJ Night Owl and Sean. You still have videos up that you can see to help you get your websites and that SEO together. Let's see, why did my... Oh yeah, the video is gone. But anyway, when he's not doing his YouTube channel videos, he has photo booths up, and he also has this new video phone. So if you're looking to add some serious wow factor to your events, check out the beta booth from Photo Booth Direct Club. It's got upgraded lighting and wiring, a mirrored faceplate that guests love, and it even comes in a rolling luggage style case, so setup is a breeze. The best part, with my code CUEITUP, you save $350. That means you just get it for $1,645. So if you want a photo booth and one of the video phones, head on over to the photoboothdirectclub.com and grab yours now. I think I still have the picture. Nope. That's gone too. I got to remember to put those back. I cleaned off my hard drive trying to clean up my music library, so I got to remember to put those back. But on Thursdays, we have the CUEITUP DJ podcast with me, the Hitman DDub, and my co-host, DJ Mikey Mike, who will be here hopefully next week. And it's not just about talk, it's real tools for real DJs of all skill levels. So I'm hoping that you were able to get something out of tonight's show. Even if you're not part of the wedding wire or the knot, still there's a certain basic fundamentals that you can still apply to DJing. Even if you don't do weddings, just going out, hunting down leads and how to go and close those sales gaps. And then also we have the Start to Spin DJ podcast that's also on Thursdays at 9 o'clock with DJ Pretty Boy and DJ Shay. And then we have Kevin from the KJ Chill Room along with Matt and Eric. You can join them live at djntv.com/KJ Chill. And they meet every Monday at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And then we also have DJ Reese. You can follow him on Instagram at _DJ Reese _. And he has the Recreate the Vibes podcast on YouTube, where he talks about DJing in the corporate world. So remember to like, share, and subscribe. And I hope you was able to get something out of tonight's show. And so some of the pointers, the key things to take away was, remember, when you're doing your sales consultation, and that is something that when I'm practicing, I practice with the AI chat box, and it keeps a transcript of what was said during our little simulation. And one of the things that it also brought up was the same thing that Tom has said, that a lot of couples, when you're doing your sales consultation, try to let the couple do most of the talking, and then ask them questions about their experience. What kind of experience do they want to have at their weddings? So that's the big takeaway. The experience, not so much the technical stuff, but the experience that they want to have. And then go from there to try to tie in who you are and with what their experience is to close the deal. And so I'm going to make a flow chart, because there was a good one that he had mentioned about the opening banter, then moving into the setting the agenda, then moving into the needs and analysis, then moving into the show and tell about yourself and the sales pitch, then moving into the package recommendation, and then the close. So that seemed to be the basic flow chart that I know that a lot of salespeople use when they come to my house, like the contractors to do house repairs. They follow that same kind of workflow. So I'll make sure I have that printed out, and maybe put a description in the description section of this YouTube video. Definitely I'm going to put in the CUEITUP DJ podcast and maybe on my blog post. And then also he also mentioned that there's 4 different places that couples look for you before they even send a lead out to you. So you gotta make sure that all your socials and everything that you have is in line and is consistent, and most importantly, up to date. So with that said, and he said, great show, my friend, DJ Mikey Mike. Yep, I wish he was here, especially during that time when Tom was having technical difficulties. I was like, I wish I had Mikey Mike here to tell one of his stories to help me out to fill in that dead time. And what else did Mikey Mike says? Expert DJ Mikey Mike, I'm still waiting for an invite to the round table. I haven't seen Buddy, so I don't know if Buddy and all of them came over. Yep, well, maybe one day you'll get that invite. So with that said, I hope everyone had found something useful to take and apply to their DJ business. And I'm happy that you all were able to come and check us out. Even if you watch the show after the live broadcast, if you have any comments or anything to say, don't be scared to drop it into the comment section. So with that said, I forgot to say it last week, but I'm not going to forget it this week. With that said, I hope everyone have a blessed week. Stay warm. I hope you all have a safe week if you're expecting a bunch of snow. And if you have gigs, make sure you go out there and crush those gigs. But remember, before it's time to spin, you got to first cue it up. Take care, stay blessed, and I'll see you all next week.
I rise like the sun while the world still sleeps. Scouring the sights looking for new leads. Marathon gigs with no in between. Your worth is from a rear view they seen. They want to party, but I'm battling fatigue, chasing passion while my mental is still out on leave. It's an everyday hustle, so respect the DJ life. We make it look easy, but the pressure's tight. Cue up the pressure. In the booth where the DJs dwell. Clubbing is a struggle like it's all I've got. Set it up, break it down, travel to the next spot. Ambitions, the engine stay sharp like a tool. Revving through my gigs, power drinks is fuel. It's an everyday hustle, we'll respect the DJ life. We make it look easy, but the pressure's tight.